All right, so we are going to start out with a nice easy march, lifting the chest. Try to roll your shoulders back and keep your chin tucked, breathing deeply. And if you're just joining in, you just need a mat today. So we're going to take this into a marching W. Bring your arms up into the W and pull, opening up the chest. Exhale, inhale, breathing through it, squeezing through the shoulder blades as you pull. Two more. And we're going to keep the march going. From here, we're going to take it into a chest opener. Lift that chest, shoulders back, and welcome. If you're just jumping in, you will just need a mat for today's workout. We'll be doing mobility and stretch. Open up that chest. Keep that march going. We do want to be nice and warm before we stretch it out. Breathe through it. Two more. And release. We're going to take it into some shoulder rolls. So from here, shrug your shoulders up toward your ears, roll them back, and then press them down. Release, let them come forward. Pull up, roll back, press down. Release. Once again, pull up, roll back, press down. Release. Again, pull up, roll back, press down. Release. Once more. Pull up, roll back, press down, and release. From here, we're going to take the fingertips just behind the ears, lift the chest. We're going to take it into a good morning, feet shoulder width apart. We're going to hinge from the hips, driving the hips back. Pull your abdominals in and brace through the core. Go as low as needed to get a stretch in the hamstrings, but still be able to maintain a flat back. Want to make sure we're not rounding through the core as we lower down into the good morning. Two more. Inhale, exhale, back up, and release. Let's take it over to the chest and shoulders. We're going to place those palms up. Elbows are going to be in nice and tight next to your torso. Lift the chest, and we're going to rotate out, pressing the thumbs outward, keeping the elbows in, and release. Bring it back in. Exhale. Inhale, breathing through it, rotating through the chest and shoulder. So we're rotating externally through the shoulder, and you should feel a little bit of a stretch in the pecs, as well as the front of the shoulder blade, the anterior deltoid. Breathing deeply, exhale. One more here, release, and relax. All right, let's shake it out. We're going to take it into some hip openers, feet shoulder width apart. We're starting out with that right leg. Ready? Here we go. 6 reps. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Over to the other side. Plant the right foot. Rotate with the left. Here we go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to take this into a modified cactus pose. We're going to bring the elbows up to a 90-degree angle. And from here, we're going to tuck the chin and rotate the shoulders so the palms are facing down at a 90-degree angle. Exhale, lift up. And as you lift, pull the shoulders back and arch through the spine. And back down. Rotating the shoulder down. Exhale, rotate the shoulder up, arch through the spine, squeeze the shoulders. Back down. Exhale, lift up, arching through the spine. Back down. Exhale up. Squeezing the shoulders. Inhale down. We've got 2 more. Exhale. Inhale, 1 more. And release. We're going to take this to another arch of the spine. So we're going to place the heels of the palms just on the lower back. So just on top of your butt cheeks. Pull your elbows and shoulders back. Lift your chest and then just slightly lean back. So you're arching your spine, lifting your chest and chin toward the ceiling. Now with that chin lift, we want to make sure that we're not cranking the neck. We're simply lifting the chin, looking up toward the ceiling, Try to open up a little more. Pull your elbows back. Pull the front of the shoulders back. Inhale. Exhale. And then let your elbows come out a little bit. Come out of that arch and release. From here, we're going to take this into a spinal twist. So we're going to place our fingertips just behind the ears, lift the chest, open up your chest by pulling your elbows back, soften your knees, and we're going to start by rotating gently through the torso, 45 degrees to the right, center, 45 degrees to the left, center, exhale, right. Now, as you twist, it's a very small twist, and we want to keep the hips and knees facing forward as just the core and the torso are doing the turning. So we're gently rotating through the mid back and a little through the lumbar spine as well, the lower back. One more here. And release, shake it out. We're gonna take it into a body weight squat just to warm up our glutes a little bit. So widen your stance with your toes facing out. And from here, just slowly lower on down into that squat. Inhale on the way down. Exhale on the way up. Don't worry too much about the depth of your squat at this time. Your hips and glutes are still getting warmed up. Breathe through it. Inhale, exhale. Two more here. 2 and 1. Now from here, again, we want to go to that glute rotation or glute activation. So from here, we're going to step back into a staggered stance with the right foot. Left foot is forward. We're going to place the hands on the hips, chest lifted, elbows back, and we're just going to hinge forward from the hips. We're going to get a big hamstring stretch here. So you're trying to push your chest out and brace through the core. And you're really going to feel this in that forward leg, which is the left side. So keep your neck in a neutral position. Your head should be gazing down toward the floor, about 45 degrees. Now, once you're in that position, you'll start to notice that the stretch feels a little easier. Lift your hips a little higher and fold forward just a little bit more. Stretching through those hamstrings. You're going to feel that through sort of the bottom of the glute as well. And gently lift up and out of it and over to the other side. Bring right foot forward, left foot back, staggered stance, chest lifted, elbows back. And again, let's hinge from the hips, pressing the heels into the floor. And we're going to hold that forward fold from the hips. Try to open up through the chest. You might find that your chest and shoulders want to come forward. Again, keep that gaze down toward the floor. Neck is neutral. Spine bent about 45 degrees, and that's really going to depend on flexibility through the hamstring. I find for me, my hamstrings are always really tight, so I can't bend quite that far forward. Inhale and exhale and gently lift up and out of it. From here, we're going to widen the stance, toes flared out. From here, we're going to rotate the right foot pointing right, right palm facing up, bending at the right knee. We're going to tuck that hand just inside. Take your left palm and place it on top. Now, lift your hips and push your chest out. That will help to keep the back flat. From here, we're going to exhale and rotate up. Look up to the thumb. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, rotate up. Looking up to that thumb. Try to get nice and open through the chest and shoulders. Keep that going. Breathing deeply. Exhale up, rotate. Now you may find that there's a little bit of stretch in the adductors here as well. That's the muscle just inside the thighs. It may be fairly mild in this position, but you may just be getting a little bit of a hip opener. 2 more here. Exhale up. Inhale down, 1 left. And lower that arm down. From here, we're going to stay in that foot position. Right toe is facing right. Right arm is going to extend out. Left palm on top, soften the knees. And from here, we're going to rotate and twist through the spine. Now, it's a quick pull as we twist. Ready? Let's go for 8. 8. Breathing through it. 7. Exhale. 6. Really squeeze your shoulder blade back As you rotate and pull, breathe through it. 2 more. 2 and 1. Let's take it over to the other side. So we're gonna bring that right foot in, left toes coming out to the side, left palm facing up, bend the left knee, place your right palm on top. Now from here, lift your glutes, push your chest out. That will help to keep the back flat. Let's go for 8 rotations. Here we go. Exhale. 8. Breathing deeply. 7. Opening up through the chest and shoulders. So you're gently pulling your shoulder blade back as you rotate through the trunk, and try to keep that knee, the forward knee, as steady as possible as you rotate. Breathe through it. 2 more on this side. 1 left here. And we're going to keep the feet in that position. Gently lift up out of it. Left arm extends out. Gently bend the knees. Place your right hand on top. Lift the chest. And let's go into our pull. Ready? Pull and rotate. Exhale. Pull and rotate. As you pull, squeeze the shoulder blade back. Try to keep the forward arm facing forward, but allow your torso to twist. 1 more here. And release. Let's bring those feet shoulder width apart. From here, we're going to take it back to that W position for the upper body. So arms up in that W, lift your chest. We're going to rotate back, squeezing the shoulder blades. From here, rotate the palms down to 90 degrees, back up, pull into the W, back down, parallel to the floor. Exhale, pull back, and you're squeezing your shoulder blades back and together the entire time here. We're not taking tension off those shoulders. Breathe through it. Exhale up. Inhale down. 1 more on the way up. And now we're going to take it into a press. So press your palms up wide into a Y, but try to pull your arms back at the same time. Bring it down into a W, pull your elbows behind you so you're squeezing them together, and back up into that Y. Press up nice and high. Bring it down into the W. Try to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Back up into the Y, but remember to pull back. Back down into that W, squeeze. Once more into our Y, up nice and high here, and release. Shake out those shoulders. From here, we're going to take this into a bent over pull. So we're going to hold our feet shoulder width apart with your right hand. The right arm is going to hang down while the left arm is just resting on your left thigh. So push your glutes back, push your chest out. And from here, we're going to row it up and back down. So let's go for 8 here. Exhale, 8. Breathing deeply, 7. Try to keep your shoulders and hips square and pull, lifting your elbow as high as you can to squeeze your shoulder blade and keep your core steady. 2 more, 2 and 1. We're gonna stick with this side and we're gonna add a rotation and down. 7, back down. 6, breathe through it. 5, twisting through the trunk. 4, that's it. 3, keep it up. 2 and 1. Just give the lower back a little bit of a break out of that bent over position. We'll do the other side after. We're going to go to our ankles. So toe down, heel up on that right toe. And we're just going to make some ankle rotations here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, switch directions. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Left toe down, chest lifted. Rotate. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch directions. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's take it to our bent over row. Feet shoulder width apart. Fold forward. This time it's the left hand. So right hand is just resting on top of the right thigh. Drive your hips back. Regular row here, we're going to row it up, 8. Now try to keep your shoulders square. Oftentimes when we row, we have an urge to twist the hips or the shoulders toward the side of the arm that's doing the rowing motion. So I want you to try to stay as steady as you possibly can through the trunk. 2 more, 2, and 1. Add that rotation. Here we go. 8, 7, 6. Breathe through it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, come on up out of it. From here, let's do a back and shoulder stretch. So pressing your arms out and away from you. Try to pull your shoulder blades apart from one another so you're lengthening through those shoulders. Let yourself round through that upper body. Nice big inhale. And exhale. And release. We're going to take this down to a kneeling position on the mat. So if you have a thinner mat at home, I would recommend taking a folded up towel and just placing it underneath your knees for a little bit of added support. So we're going to take this into a quadruped position. So this means we're in a kneeling position on all fours. And in quadruped, you want your knees to be hip width apart, hands just shoulder width apart so that your shoulder is stacked directly over your wrist. Now from here, I want you to breathe in. Fill your lungs with air until you feel the abdominal muscles contract. It should feel like the rib cage is kind of squeezing. And then exhale slowly and release. Pushing the air out of your lungs. And nice big inhale. Fill the belly with air. Feel the abdominal muscles start to tighten and contract. Expanding your rib cage. Exhale. Pushing the air out of your lungs. Inhale. Filling the belly with air. Feeling the abdominal muscles contract and tighten. Exhale. Squeezing, pushing the air out. 1 more of each. Inhale. Fill the belly with air. Squeeze through the abdominal muscles. Feel the rib cage expand. Exhale. Pushing the air out. And release. Just come on down. Give your wrists a little shake out. Shoulders a little shake out. We're going back to that quadruped position. So we're back to that stacked wrists under shoulders, abdominals pulled in, back flat, and try to depress your shoulders. So try to push your chest into your shoulder blades and prevent the shoulders from creeping up near the ears. Now, from this position, we're going to add a neck rotation. So right now, your head should be looking directly down toward your mat. We're going to rotate the head over to one side. So now you're looking over one shoulder, back down to center. Look over the other shoulder and back down to center. We're going to adjust this move slightly. Now I want you to add a chin tuck. Tuck your chin in and then add the rotation. Rotate. You're going to find that the range of motion, back down, over to the other side, that the range of motion is a little more limited when you add that chin tuck back to center. Keep the chin tucked. So we don't want that head coming forward. You can feel the difference between when the chin and neck muscles are engaged, when we're on either side, and when they're just loose. You'll probably find that you can move a lot further through that loose movement. However, the stretch is more intense when you have that chin tucked. All right, let's take it to a seated position. From here, cross-legged, sitting nice and tall. I want you to sit on the bottoms of your butt cheeks. So what I mean by that is sitting on where the hamstring connects to the glutes. So we're not leaning back or sitting on the tops of the butt cheeks. Lift your chest. And from here, raise your arms up again into that W position. Lift up nice and high, pull your abdominals in. And from here, we're going to reach up with the right arm and back and behind with the left arm, lifting that chest. Now we're going to switch them nice and slow. Switch the hands, reach the left arm up, tuck your right arm just behind your lower back. Again, switch nice and slow. Posturally, this should be fairly challenging for you. Try to put a little pressure on your shoulders. Switch sides by gently pressing the back of your hand into your lower back and pulling your top arm backwards. Switch sides. Lift up nice and high. Again, sitting tall, extending that top arm over to the other side. Lift up nice and high. And release. From here, we're going to take it into a seated cat-cow. So just sit comfortably. Place your fingertips just behind your ears. Open up the chest and shoulders by pulling the elbows back. Tuck the elbows in, bringing them toward your chest. Exhale, lift up. Arch the spine, lifting your chest toward the ceiling. Inhale, tuck in, letting yourself round. Exhale, lift up nice and high, pushing the chest out. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lifting up toward the ceiling. Inhale. And exhale. And release. We're going to take it into our hamstrings here. So I'm just going to rotate. You can stay in your seated position, but extend your legs out in front of you. Now, once again, I want you to sit on the bottoms of your butt cheeks, not on the tops. And from here, we're going to stack one leg on top of the other. So place your hands just behind you, stack one on top of the other, push the heels out from both legs. Right away, you're going to feel those hamstrings stretching. Lift your chest, open up the shoulders by pulling the shoulders back. And now push both heels down into your mat. So we're getting a hamstring stretch here, but we're also going to feel the core muscles engage in that press down. Keep the chin and chest lifted. 3, 2, 1, release. Stack the other foot on top. And then from here, we're going to press them down into the mat. So lift the chest, shoulders back, push down into the mat, breathing deeply. Inhale, engaging the hamstrings, engaging the core muscles in that isometric contraction, breathing through it, and release. From here, lower your head, neck, and shoulders down toward your mat with your knees bent. Just let your lower back relax down toward the floor. Reach your arms up, overhead, pressing your palms toward the ceiling. Now, you might find that your lower back starts to arch slightly here. So I'd invite you to push your lower back down toward the floor. Now, you'll probably find that your shoulders lift up a little higher. Gently try to press the backs of your hands down toward your mat. Right away, we're going to feel that big stretch in the chest here. Big inhale. Exhale. And release. You can lift that lower back up. Bring the arms back down to your sides. Just shake it out here. We're going to stretch. So stretching out the glutes. Cross your right leg over your left. Clasp your hands just behind the left leg. Push both heels out and angle your hands slightly so that you can pull a little closer to you. Relax your head, neck, and shoulders down. And try to let the backs of your shoulders sink down into the mat. I know it can be challenging to relax your shoulders when you're holding your hamstrings in this way. However, just try to keep them as relaxed as possible. There will be some rounding through the backs of the shoulder blades, but try to let the weight of your shoulders come down toward the floor. Inhale. Exhale. Once more, inhale. And exhale. Lower that side down. Switch it out. So we're going to cross the opposite leg over, turning the knee out, clasp the hands behind. And again, you can reposition as needed once you're in position here. You might need to adjust your hands slightly. Press your heels out. Relax your shoulders down. And again, I know it can be really challenging to relax shoulders while you're holding your hamstring, but I'd like you to visualize the backs of your shoulder blades coming down to meet the mat. That will help to relax the neck a little bit, putting a little less strain on the neck in the stretch. And if you find that your neck always lifts off the mat in this stretch, you may want to add a pillow or a rolled up towel underneath your head and neck. Inhale and exhale and release. Lower the feet down toward the floor. Just relax, shaking out the upper back. From here, we're going to stretch out the hips. So in this movement, we're going to cross the right leg. It's a fairly tight crossover, right over left. And from here, we're going to drop both legs, rotating them down to the right side. So let the weight of both legs just slowly roll down toward the floor, sinking down toward your mat. Now your shoulder on your left side may come off the mat, so just reposition as needed. You can place your arms in a T, you can have palms down, palms up, whatever feels right for you. And you may also need to reposition your neck. So if you find that your head starts to come forward, just slide it on back with that chin tuck, just like we did in our rotations earlier. So let the weight of your legs weigh down the hip. The right leg is weighing down the left, opening up that left hip. So you should feel a little bit of a stretch right at the front of the left hip flexor. Deep inhale and exhale. Now keep your right leg crossed over your left. We're going to bring them up together and drop them down now to the right, or left side rather. So we're going to rotate them. And now at this point, your lower back on your right side is going to lift off the mat. You can rotate your head over to the other side. And now, getting a little bit of a lumbar stretch here, lower back stretch. Relax your shoulders down to the mat. Once again, you can position your hands in a T. You can have your arms at your sides. You can have palms facing up, palms facing down. Whatever feels right for you. Add that little bit of a chin tuck. And lower back stretches should always be quite gentle. So this should just feel like a gentle lumbar twist on the right side. It shouldn't feel very intense. And we're going to bring both legs up, uncross them. And now we're going to cross left over right, which means both are going to go down now to the left side. So this is our hip flexor stretch. Drop those legs down. And again, you might find that the right shoulder comes off of the mat. Reposition your arms into that T. Add the chin tuck. Your upper body should just feel relaxed here. It doesn't need to be doing anything specific. Inhale. Exhale. And once again, we're going to keep the legs crossed over, bring them both up, and now this time, drop them down to the right side, rotating through the lower body. And now the left side of your lower back is lifted off the mat with the right side pressed down into the floor, getting that gentle lumbar twist. Inhale. Exhale. Twisting movements are often so overlooked in training programs, and it is so important to have controlled twists included in your strengthening and mobility workouts. But of course, as I mentioned, lumbar twists should always be very, very gentle. So it should feel, if you ask yourself out of 10, how hard is it? 2, maybe a 3 if your lower back is feeling a little tight. Bring it on up, uncross, come up to a seated position. Extend your legs out in front of you and just slide your hands down your legs toward the front of your shin, letting yourself round through your lower back just before we finish off. And slide gently on up. Take a deep breath in, reaching up toward the ceiling. Exhale, lower the arms down. Relaxing the shoulders. And we're all done for today. Thanks for joining me, everyone. I hope you have a great rest of your snow day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.
Thanks, Amanda. That was great.
Oh, thank you.